Hello and welcome. Today we start our mini-series about the 6 mental faculties. Today is imagination. Imagination is our ability to form images and ideas in the mind, things that cannot be experienced through the 5 senses. It allows us to step beyond what is and begin to envisioning what could be. See, unlike memory, which brings the past into the present, imagination brings the future into the now. If we want to transform our lives, it starts here, in the invisible. It is the return to our creative power. Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, called the imagination the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivable power force the world has ever known. But most of us, if we use our imagination at all, tend to use it against ourselves. Think about it. We imagine the worst case scenario. We imagine what we don't want. We imagine problems heading our way, things we hope don't happen. We use our imagination to relive all pain, old stories, and all limitations. But that can change if we want to. We can begin to use our imagination the way God, the universe, or higher power, whatever you want to call it, intended. And that is to create the life we are truly meant to live. Imagination is the greatest creative faculty we possess. And with it, we can build anything we want. Albert Einstein once said that imagination is more important than knowledge. Why? Well, because knowledge is limited to what already exists. Imagination opens the door to what's possible. Take a minute and think about this. Look around you. Everything we have today that makes our lives so much easier and comfortable. That wasn't here 5, 10, maybe 20, 25 years ago. Every single one of those things was first created in someone's imagination. The chair you're sitting on, the phone or the device you're using to listen to this podcast, the one I'm using to talk to you, the building that we are in, every bridge, every airplane, every work of art, every invention and every solution, all of it was imagined first. Before it could be built, designed, produced, or shared, someone had to see it in their minds. They pictured it before it was real. They saw what others didn't, and that is the power of imagination. Imagination is the faculty that bridges the gap between where we are and where we want to go, where we want to be. See, here, where I am, is a place. There, where I want to go, it's also a place. How do we bridge that gap? How do I travel from here to there? With my imagination. That imagination allows us to travel that distance. It puts us from the vibration we are in now to the vibration we need to be in to get that. And as long as we build that image in our minds and we keep it alive and active, we will get there. It cannot be any other way. It's a universal law. Now, this creative power that we all have was in full use up until maybe about we were 4 to 5 years old. Have you ever seen a child completely absorbed in their imagination, building entire worlds in their little minds before they can write them down, draw them out, or even say them out loud? They see them in quiet moments, during play, while daydreaming. In a child's mind, a rock becomes a treasure, a cardboard box, a spaceship. A puddle becomes an adventure, and a sunset or a rainbow, pure magic. But then school starts, and imagination gets squashed. We say they're not paying attention in class. They're just daydreaming. But here is the truth. Daydreaming is often a sign that a child is actively using one of the most powerful tools that they possess, their imagination. And yes, I know they need to learn the timetable and to write and read, but they need time for their imagination too. I know we live in a physical body and interact with the material world. We do need our five senses. But as poet Archibald MacLeish once said, the only thing that makes a man is his mind. Everything else you can find in a pig or a horse. See, we are gifted with higher faculties and we don't use them fully. We have creative powers. Everyone is creative. Now, one person is more creative than another. The difference is that some people, they just simply choose to use their creative faculties more often and more intentionally than others. We can take our imagination and build a picture in our minds of what we want to be, do, or have. And use that imagination daily. Keep it alive and active with your will. And you'll see that life doesn't just get better, it becomes what you decide to make it. So how can we support this in our children? Well, by encouraging their minds to wander freely, by letting them form images, connect dots, build stories, invent worlds, and rehearse life in their own inner theater. We often mistake daydreaming for laziness or lack of focus, when in fact, it's inner attention. And while we can't always see what's happening, there is a lot going on inside their little minds. They're solving problems in their own way. They're processing emotions. They're exploring possibilities and developing creativity. They might even imagine their future selves. They're not wasting time. They're painting on the canvas of their minds. They're building castles, becoming heroes, healing hurts. And every picture they build is shaping who they're becoming. So let's not interrupt too quickly, yes? Let's not rush them back into reality. Because in those invisible images, their truth, their voice, and their future are being formed. Instead of interrupting a daydreamer, try asking, what were you imagining just now? Was there a story in your mind? Would you like to share it? What picture just popped into your head? You might be surprised at what you learn about their inner world. If we truly want to support our children's growth, not just academically, but creatively and emotionally, we need to honor the invisible work their mind is doing. Because in a world that rewards focus and speed, we cannot afford to forget the value of stillness, wonder, and imagination. You know, as adults, many of us spend years later in life unlearning limiting beliefs, shifting our mindset, and rediscovering parts of ourselves we lost along the way. That is why this series matters. Because when we nurture the mind early, we shape a stronger, more conscious generation. Next week, we're going to dive into intuition. Our inner GPS is subtle, it's wise, and it's always available. But most of us have forgotten how to listen. So if you enjoyed this episode, please share it, leave a review, tag me and follow me on Instagram, and tell me what you are imagining into reality. Until then, remember, imagination is the starting point of all transformation. So imagine boldly and make sure that while you learn, you also teach and support the children in your life to do the same. I'm Grace Bosco. Thanks again for being here. We'll talk soon.